But do you really think there's like any major studio differences? Like when we talk about Western versus Japanese anime, do you think like the animation, I guess, is better in any way in either of these two? Like one outweighs the other or outdoes the other in any way? Or do you think they're roughly on the same level?
Well, if you're comparing just animation studios, like Western animation studios and Japanese animation studios, I feel like they both have a very different feel to them, you know? So I wouldn't really compare them as into just one animation category. But I do have to say, in some areas, anime does have an upper hand, but in others, Western has an upper hand too. You know, it just depends on what you're showing to the viewers and what the genre is. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. And there have been so many cases where two different studios have done like the same show, like especially like Attack
Oh
on
yeah,
Titan,
yeah, yeah. I
sorry.
know. Uh huh.
So
Yeah.
what did you really
I
think about that studio change?
I I didn't think much of it. Like, okay, so I saw this huge argument going on Twitter, and I thought like, was there a difference? Because I didn't notice a difference. I didn't notice much of a difference. I didn't think the CG was bad on the Titans. I really like the new change overall. Like, it was good. It was the new season of Attack on Titan. Everybody was talking about it. I feel like it's only like Wit versus Mappa was only between those who were really, really obsessed over the anime. Like, at the end of the day, you do have to remember that it's an anime and it's not your life, you know? There is a lot of things which go into making an anime, and I'm sure Mappa had to make some hard choices. Some things they did very well, some things they might have even done better than Wit. So all of those things going into consideration, I feel like there isn't much difference when a studio change happens, you know?
So if I really had to ask you, right, did you actually
Yeah.
prefer Wit or Mappa's version of the anime? What would you say?
I don't know. Okay. um, I I would slightly lean towards Wit. Okay. Yeah. I mean, just from the 3 seasons they did a solid job. Okay. I really loved it. Just because of that little hike in experience they have, I just give it to Wit. Just for that. Otherwise, it's a very close fight, I would say.
And even when you actually put those two studio comparisons together, you can actually see the difference in color. Like the lighting seems a little bit lighter in the Wit studio production versus the Mappa one. So do you think it was
Yeah.
like because it was done in such a short time? Or do you think if Mappa were given a little longer time, they would have outdone what Wit did? Because definitely the animation was still really good. It was just the color palettes that were missing here and there. So do you think they would have done a better job if given more time?
Well, given time to any studio, they would do a good job. If they have had ample of time, they would work on it, right? But I feel like the light versus dark part you're talking about, I think it was just an artistic choice. I don't think it was anything made from the rush of time, really. It wasn't that they were compelled to do it. I thought they just did it because I don't think it really depreciates the value of the anime. But yeah, I mean, they were a little short on time, I would say.
Yeah, they definitely were, and I think a lot of people like
Hmm.
kind of hated the season a little bit more just because of the bias of animation, even though the storyline was still good. They still
Yeah, I have
had
seen that one. Uh-huh.
exactly, especially since it was so famous till season three. I mean, it was one of the most watched animes as well, considering the storyline was so good, and it was currently like the trend was to tell the story to everyone in class and make sure to encourage them to watch the show because it was so good. Like, I've seen so many comments on YouTube saying, "Oh, I don't normally watch anime, but this one was amazing." So, like, was that the
Yeah,
same
I know
reaction
that.
with
I know
you?
that. Like, yeah, it was the same thing with along everybody around me. Like, even some of my family members. It was kind of weird, you know. Those who have never heard of anime just suddenly knew what Attack on Titan was. So I was a little surprised. Yeah, I would say that was the opening boom to how anime started to become a little more mainstream. You know, I just think that is like I cannot accurately pinpoint it, but sure, yeah.